I think I'm a respectful guy. It's just that we are responding to feminism. We are responding to a culture that is absolutely taken over by feminism. And you can't really interpret it outside of that context. But we have this attitude about women that women are supposed to be treated like men, and they're not.
Nick Fuentes really dives into his belief about women here. We're going to watch the whole clip in just a second, so make sure you stay tuned. Nick goes on this whole rant about what is this feminism movement? Why do people think he hates women? Because he doesn't. I don't hate women. Most people don't hate women. They're literally our helper, our glory in a lot of ways. They keep us in line, and Nick goes into that. He dives into it. You got to see the whole clip, so make sure you stay tuned. It is a beautiful, beautiful argument, very well put together. But I'm Jared Wright. This is the right wing. And if you think that women are beautiful, but that we're inherently different from women, you should follow along. Hit the buttons down below. Hit the like, the follow, subscribe, all of the buttons so that you can see this stuff every single day because I post it every single day. If you like Nick Fuentes, if you like conservative beliefs, if you are an American first, you should follow along. But let's just dive into the rest of this clip so you can see what is going on.
Everyone has been giving the Grow-Ipers such grief about women. You and the Grow-Ipers have always treated me with kindness and respect. Love you, Nick. Merry Christmas from the family.
Hey, love you too. Merry Christmas. Very true. Yeah, I think I'm a respectful guy. It's just that we are responding to feminism. We are responding to a culture that is absolutely taken over by feminism. And you can't really interpret it outside of that context, which is that attitudes about women are completely upside down. It's not about hating women. I really don't find hating women to be impressive or charming. And I don't think that I hate women, but we have this attitude about women that women are supposed to be treated like men, and they're not. And by that I mean, we treat them like peers. We treat them like equals, and they're just not. Women are women and men are men. It's easy to say that there are two genders. It's a whole different thing to say that there's a meaningful distinction between the two genders, and that's really what you're saying. Because all these conservatives will say all day long, well, there's two genders, but then they'll say we should treat them as though they are the same.
That is a huge point from Nick. We need to treat the genders as if they're the same, but there's still two genders. You're not really believing that, conservative movement. You're not really pushing that belief. If you really believe that there are two genders, inherently they have to be different. That's a fact. And a lot of your mainstream conservatives won't push that. But let's just keep watching.
Okay, so you don't really believe in two genders then, do you? Because if you did, you would believe that if there is distinction, the distinction is meaningful. Men and women are different in meaningful ways, biological ways, anatomical ways, psychological and social ways. They're fundamentally different. They have different roles. A woman is built to carry a child. It makes everything about her different. You think it's like arbitrary that a woman has to grow a human being inside of her for 9 months? For one. And then to take care of that child, breastfeed and nurse that child? You're telling me that a person that's built to do that is the same as a person that's not? A person that not only doesn't have to do those things, but actually has to kill? So one gender is made to kill other human beings. The other gender is made to nurture and grow and feed human beings. You're telling me these human beings are the same? They're peers? We should treat them the same way? One is a killing machine, one is a baby-making machine. And people go, you think that women are baby-making machines? That is their biological role. They don't have breasts for attracting mates. They have breasts to feed their children. They don't have, like that. That is why they are the way they are. That's why they're shaped the way they're shaped. That's why they think the way they think. That's why they bleed. That's why they do all these things. They're literally built for it. Similarly, men are built to kill. Why are we stronger, bigger, taller, thicker? We're built to hunt in groups. We're built to kill for meat. We're built to kill in war. We're fundamentally different. And so the idea that like men and women are going to be best friends, the idea that men and women are going to be driving down the street together, doing everything together, it's just like it gets away from the natural order. And it's in the context of these things I mean, yes, I have an old-fashioned disposition. I wouldn't even say it's old-fashioned. I just say it's biological. We've gotten away from that because we're a decadent society. It's what it is. It's purely just decadence. It's comfort, it's safety, it's abundance, it's prosperity. And now we have committed this great sin of thinking that we can override human nature. You get to a certain point, you think that food comes from the store, safety comes from the police, and you start to forget where we came from, primordially. And it's got women all upside down, and men are following women, and that makes them retarded. So we just got to set it straight.
Nick really drops some truth bombs here. He really brings about the actual biological differences in men and women. We are different. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing. It's literally a good thing because we're made like puzzle pieces to fit together into one and create a bond in marriage that is inseparable before God. It's a perfect bond before God. That's how it is. This ring on my finger signifies that. I'm a married man. I love my wife. But me and my wife are biologically different. I don't have breasts. I don't have a uterus. I have a high level of testosterone instead of estrogen. There are differences in men and women that have to be addressed. How we think, how we act, how we do things. Just like he says, men are made as hunters to kill, to protect. Women are made as nurturers to bring up, to support. And whenever you mess up the biological role of things, the gender roles that were set by God, the Creator himself, you skew everything in how it's meant to be, and it messes everything up. Nothing works correctly when you do that. That's what Nick is saying. There's nothing that you can do to make it okay for a woman to take the man's role and for a man to take the woman's role. But that's what feminism teaches. Even the little, I'm going to call it the micro-feminism, because that's what was big right now in society is this micro-feminism where it kind of slides underneath the table at you. It's not blaring, it's not the blue hair liberal, but even within conservative women, they have a little bit of feminism in them. Oh, I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm going to make a big career for myself on this big show, even with conservative talking points. That's not really what God designed for them. Honestly, there are real gender roles that create prosperity in and of themselves. That doesn't necessarily mean monetary wealth, but it means prosperity within happiness, within your ancestry and creating a new family, creating a genealogical line that goes through you. There is prosperity in it. And Nick details it out really well. This is why there's two genders. There's not a plethora of genders like the left wants to tell you, but that these two genders are ideologically, biologically different. And we have to treat them as such. We have to treat them differently. You have to approach them differently. Once society realizes that, we can flourish more. Once society steps into that, into regular gender roles, they will begin to understand how to flourish. And that's exactly what Nick says here. Gender roles are important. Let's help the women nurture better. Let's help the men protect better. Men become better men. Women become better women. And naturally, you will fit together even better. Divorce rates are so high. I would argue feminism is behind that. Feminism is behind the LGBTQ movement, transgender movement in a lot of ways. It's behind a lot of the divorce rates. It is behind a lot of the problems we have in society because certain people groups of certain religions push it. Honestly, they've been pushing it for a long time. Women in the workforce so they can get more taxes. Women in the workforce so they can ideologically change your children in schools with their own textbooks, McGraw-Hill and such. So there are problems within this feminism that are bigger than just what is a woman, and bigger than the blue-haired liberal. You have to understand that. And if you think these things, you should follow along on the channel. I'm Jared Wright. This is The Right Wing. Make sure you stay tuned every single day. Hit the buttons down below. I would appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel so I can bring you this content every single day. I post all the time for you to make it easy. So make sure you follow along, and I hope you have a great day.